Alright, so when it comes to me using reference photos, I don't like to spend too much time looking for them. Because when I do, I get overwhelmed, and when I can't find anything, I have to improvise on what I have, and that sometimes sucks. But on the other hand, when I do find my photos, I like to use only two. I don't like to fill my page up with a bunch of photos. I like to have two photos I can, pull pieces from. And in this case, we have Decidueye. Now I want to come up with a character model for this character, but I don't want to use these two models specifically. I just want to pull certain parts from these references and kind of add my own little creativity in them and come up with my own character model. And that is what we're going to do today. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. All right, so up here we have our two models. These are the references we're going to use to create our photo. And when it comes to me making a character, one thing I like to do first off is think of what pose I'm going to use. So when I think of a pose, I'll think of that character in that pose. And this process takes a while. So I like to just mess around with lines a little bit and kind of just get my creative juices flowing and whatnot. So we start off with the head, we got the body. I don't know what kind of pose I want them in, so we're just gonna throw some lines down or whatever. And hopefully we can hopefully we can, conjure up something here. I don't know what pose I want them in, so let's erase. Nah, I don't like that. I should have thought of this before I even started recording my video, but you know what? This is raw and unfiltered. So, yeah. Let's see. Do I want them flying in the air, like kind of how this one is right here? Or do I just want them standing here, kind of how this one is? I don't know. I think I want them flying because where I want them at on my photo. Let me see. So where I want him at initially on here is somewhere in this area to kind of fill up that negative space right there, but I don't want to cover him up too much with the Pokemon that's already there, so I think we're gonna have him flying. So let's go ahead and try to create a photo for that. Alright, so this is where I'm at right here with the design. I want him flying, I want him airborne so we can see his body. So let's kind of, let me see, start off here. Our head. Okay, got his little woody or whatever you call that, his shag or whatever. Let's call it a mane. Got his mane here. The head. Like that. Okay, got the head. Let's go there. And his body, he has like and he's got some freaking abs, man. I want him in like the Batman pose, like the old Batman pose, or but I don't want him too big. So we're gonna So yeah, I just like to scribble a bunch of lines and then eventually you'll see something in it eventually. Alright, okay, got his body here. And I think I want to have one leg coming down like this. Then the other leg it kind of, you know, kind of like this. It's his foot. Put his little feet here. Boom. And then we'll have the knee kind of right here. So this is the top of the knee on his left leg, and this is the bottom of his knee on the right leg. And then we're gonna have his foot back here, kind of in the background. Okay. I think that is. Throw his tail, his back end tail back here somewhere. Okay, so this is where I'm at with it. So yeah, just a bunch of lines until until you see what you can create out of it. So we're gonna boom, boom, boom. All right. Okay, does he have a? Okay, he doesn't have a pointy chin. He has a round chin at the bottom. So you got two. And then later, after we do the sketch, we'll clean up a little bit and try to define more shapes as we go. But this is really the process I go through when I'm drawing a character and coming up with poses. Kind of just messing around with lines and shapes and whatnot. Just being free, having fun, because that's what art is all about. Having fun. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna mess with this little helmet here. All right, and then throw his feather. Just like that. And you can already see it's coming along pretty good. I think the most difficult part about this drawing is probably going to be when I start adding shapes and body structure, real tedious like little areas that I have to work on. But overall, I got the pose down, which is an important part. So that's good. So we can move forward and kind of add, as we go. Let's see. He's got the design here. Okay, so he's got let's see. So since he's airborne this way, I want him kind of bring his eyes this low. Let's make a new layer for that. Let's make a new layer. Because I want to bring the opacity down on this layer, on this line. Alright. Let's bring down the opacity. And this is our reference line for, our guideline for the eyes. Because he's like scouring, he's like, Okay, let's go back to the previous layer. Let's bring these down just a bit. And then we're gonna go here. Okay. Then we're gonna let's bring it here, and then we're gonna too far apart, so I gotta bring them together a little more. So what we're gonna do is gonna take our lasso tool and bring these eyes together. Alright, so now let's see, we can make the beak like that. I think these should be this way. And then add that design there. Okay, it's looking a little rough now, but I think I should make his head a little bigger. Let me see. Okay, there we go. And then he has the little tree mark, X mark here, the Luffy scar. So yeah, man, just get in there and get your hands dirty. Don't be afraid to use messy lines, because later on you're gonna clean this up anyway. So, all right, so yeah, this is where we're at with our character model. We got our sketch down, and then after the sketch, we're gonna start going in and adding some harsher lines and start adding more shapes and more contour to the body to try to get that Decidueye look that he has. So in the next video, I will be doing that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, leave a comment down below and like the video. That would help out my content a lot. If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you. And I will see you next time. Peace.